vocals and bass.
Right.
Oh, God. What the hell did you do to this thing?
What?
Oh!
I made it good. I had a little something to it. What's it taste like?
Awfully clumpy and chunky. Should probably get that looked at.
Sticking together.
Oh, God!
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, he turned into Dave Bautista for a second there.
So am I finally famous, Daddy? Hey, everybody. I said it first this time.
I watched Guardians 3 yesterday, finally. It was alright. I hated the ending, but it was okay.
Wait.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it, but it's been a while.
Where they disbanded themselves, basically?
Oh, yeah, they all kind of go along their certain ways.
Like, had this weird Disney dance party thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, so Guardians is no more? Like, what?
No, they come back. They'll come back.
Yeah, that's what she said, too. And I'm like, yeah, but... I don't know. I just didn't like the ending.
So...
I thought the rest of the movie was all right.
Endgame, Gamora dies.
Yeah.
Here she is again.
Right.
Different Gamora. Nebula is kind of like taking her place. And which, did you pick up on the sexual tension between Peter Quill?
I mean, yeah, but...
I
think that was just put there just for that, you know.
She's going to give him that Gluck Gluck AI 3000.
Yeah, that was just put there just for that scene that was in the trailer.
And Thor.
Like, what? Stop looking at me. What? I just never noticed how black your eyes were. I was just...
It's like, you know, when you see
there was a torture device that was replaced by my father, who uses a torture device against me, or whatever the hell it was. Like, well, I'm just saying he picked a nice shade of black.
No, I like in the beginning. So, you know, when you see that person you really care about, and Thor was just like, it's not you, man. No, but
there's so much gay undertone in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Well, it's a bunch of
that's the only part of the woke I like about it.
Bunch of closet homosexuals.
But it's nice to finally. I don't know why. I think they did a good job with it. I agree. The ending, not so a big fan, but telling Rocket's story.
Yeah, I mean, that was fine. Rocket's story. Once again, it was the Disney feel sorry for the animals thing. You know, that was in there again, but I got around that. It was fine. I think it's, once again, I was so spoiled with the Infinity Saga and how, like, it was very serious with comedic things in it. And, like, now it's very lighthearted with some serious things in it.
Yeah. And but I think they're kind of taking a break from the serious with the slide,
I guess,
play of comedy because you got the Secret Wars coming up.
Yeah. The Secret Wars.
I think they're going to take a very serious undertone and have the comedy sprinkled in.
I hope
again.
So. I'm really holding out for Doom to pan out.
Doom.
Dr. Doom.
Yeah, with Robert Downey Jr. playing
I'm hoping that pans out because this is basically, this is the way this is shaping up to be is Iron Man turns into Dr. Doom basically, because he wants to protect everything so much he drives himself mad.
Well, I like the concept of the evil Avengers. Do you see that?
Are you talking about the Avengers West Coast, basically, is what they are? The Thunderbolts?
No. Evil Avengers, like Chris Evans is actually stepping into the role of Captain America again to play the evil version of...
Oh, the Hydra?
Yeah. Yes.
I can't remember what his actual, like...
But there's actually going to be, like, other evil Avengers.
Is there?
Yeah, because you got to remember this, like...
What was I mean, I haven't followed Marvel in a while now, a couple of years really. Well, so I heard something about that version of Captain America who actually he's Agent Hydra or whatever the hell it is, where he in this alternate universe he joins. So I did hear it was something about the multiverse, and they were pulling that version.
Yes,
and he was going to be like that agent.
There's going to be other versions of the Dark Avengers, I think is what they were called.
I mean, sure, whatever.
I don't know.
I'm interested. Let's see what happens with it. I kind of want to see the Fantastic Four because Galactus is in it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh wow, Galactus. I'm just hoping that he's not like a sub-villain and they don't make Robert Downey Jr. because it's Robert Downey Jr. The main villain is Doom. I hope Galactus is the main villain because he's more powerful than Thanos. So if he just comes in for a little bit, there again, like Dormammu, he was a deity and he was just a one-off in one movie. So, but I think Galactus is way more popular. But you didn't
see Dormammu get defeated. You just see him dip in and then dip out.
Yeah.
So there's really I think they did that little sprinkle of him very well because you know he has more involvement.
Maybe. Or maybe it's just like we're just acknowledging him. Just to show like Strange's wit. Well, I can't beat him. He's gonna kill me every time. So I'll just lock him in an infinite time loop until he's like, all right, fine, fuck, just get away from me. So but yeah, so Galactus is showing up in the new Fantastic Four, and I saw like the 50s futuristic 50s thing that they got going on. The whole vibe of the movie. It takes place in the 50s, but it's like this other alternate timeline 50s, where it's more future. It's like the way the 50s saw the future today back then, but that's what it is back then. So I was like, all right, yeah, cool. And then what else? What other one? Let's see, Doctor Doom, so Avengers Doomsday or whatever the hell it's called. So I was interested in that one too. And outside of that, I don't really know what they're gonna do. There's all the bullshit with Ryan Reynolds now. So who the hell knows what's gonna happen with Deadpool? I could almost guarantee if Disney follows suit with everything else that they do, I could almost guarantee Deadpool's like done in the MCU with all that going on. But I mean, hey, stupid fucking games, stupid prizes, right? So it's a shame, but you know what I did like? Because all the shit we talk about in the podcast and all the celebrities, like in their real life that we see, and like how like in the couple months prior, seeing how Batista was really kind of a fucking cuck.
Dave Bautista?
Yeah.
Cuck? What do you mean?
Oh, he rode the cock of Harris, and he was.
Oh, okay.
I can still watch his movies and completely separate the two. And just not be as like, yeah, this is an entertaining movie. Like, he had good one-liners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was cool. Like, outside of that, I'm not a fan. But his acting was fun. It was a good exercise, I think, yesterday. That's what it was. It's like, all right, I haven't watched any Batista movies. It's like this whole thing. So I watched it. I was like, it was still entertaining. It was fun. I was like, all right, I can still separate the two. It's good practice to have. Yeah, but so now it's, I wonder what, and then they had like the I guess the new Guardians.
The Thunderbolts, yeah.
No, the new Guardians at the end of the movie. Guardians of the Galaxy, where they had Rocket leading it.
Yeah.
And they had, like, Mantis is gone, Batiste is gone,
yep.
Nebula's gone. It's, what's his face? That took, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot
He took that thing from the other guy from Walking Dead. And
yeah.
And
tell me that death didn't, like,
one of the kids.
A little bit.
Oh, there was a whole bunch of deaths in the original.
No, Guardians 2, when he gives up his life for Star-Lord, it's like...
Yeah, that's what I mean. Look, there was a whole bunch of deaths in the original Infinity Saga that were like, oh, man, that was good. And now people die. It's like, I didn't fucking know who you were. So you died. They're like, I don't know. Okay.
Can't miss you till you're gone.
Yeah. It's like, all right. Well,
still don't miss you.
2 Christmases. Like, but... And then who else? Who else? Oh, there's one of the random kids of the fucking sea of kids that they rescued off the one ship. Remember they rescued all the kids? Adam Warlock.
Yeah, okay.
And he, like, sort of, I guess, joined
yeah.
them. Which I'm like, all right, I'm fine with that. they made Adam Warlock like he was the dopey kid from Meet the Millers or whatever,
Yeah.
or the Millers, or whatever the hell it was.
The cross-country drug dealer.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, so I
He did
just
a good job, though. He
did.
bulked up for that shit?
He did fine, but I watched it. As soon as I saw him, I'm like, I can't get that out of my head.
Yo, he got big, though.
Yeah.
Like, he
Yeah,
ripped up.
pretty good size.
I was genuinely impressed. Because
But-
you see him meet the Millers, he's...
So, yeah, it was entertaining.
Hungry eyes.
And then they had on Disney Plus they had the new Captain America, which I just can't bring myself to watch.
I can't either.
And
Well, because here's
I'm
the
sorry,
thing.
Anthony Mackie is not Captain America.
Here's my problem with it. I get it. You know, with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even the multiverse, the Marvel comic universe, there's a possibilities are endless for all these different realities.
Right.
But do you remember the episode, the comic book, when Captain America actually dies?
Which one?
No, like he gets taken out by a sniper and that's it.
Isn't it funny when they actually kill off like characters? It's like in the most like way, not like the grandiose like, oh, this is what happens if he dies, and then like the next week it's like, oh, we're just kidding.
Well,
I was like, no, this time he's actually dead.
I think
What?
the reason I can't get by, and I like Anthony Mackie as an actor. He's a good actor.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Anthony Mackie. It's just Falcon is not Captain America. It's just not.
I'm sorry, but they should have gave Steve Rogers the send-off he got in the comic book. He went out in a blaze of glory doing what he was genetically engineered to do.
Bucky was Captain America. Bucky Barnes took the role after Captain America in the comics. Winter Soldier was primed. I think as a whole, the fan base is like, yeah, Bucky should have been Captain America after.
Yeah.
And then Falcon is like, he pulled a Thor. And then he got it. And I'm like, all right, well, let's give it a chance, I guess. And like right out the bat, I'm like, no. And the thing I
still think
I mean,
Civil War.
His suit is made of vibranium, isn't it?
Yeah.
The whole suit is. So that explains away why he can get hit as hard as like from Red Hulk and everything and survive, because like vibranium absorbs all that energy.
Yeah.
Adamantium doesn't. Adamantium is actually a stronger metal, and it's making its way into the cinematic universe. So I'm like, all right,
Yes, it
that's
is.
cool. But vibranium it's a softer metal, but it absorbs energy. It's dynamic, so. But that explains that. It's like, okay, I can get around him taking abuse the way Steve Rogers did, not being a super soldier. But even so,
Hold on. Before I forget, I'm sorry. I don't want to lose this bit again. I still think Civil War was the best. How much for the arm? It's not for sale. Oh, I'm getting that arm. When Rocket talking to the Winter Soldier.
yeah.
I need this and that. That guy's leg. Here you go. You actually got it? Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He goes, oh my God. He's like, so what do you need for it? I don't really need it because can you picture him now? Hop around on one leg. I gave him 20,000 credits for that. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was one of Rocket's best features. Yondu. That's the big
Yondu,
guy.
that's his name.
Yeah.
Yondu.
I think that was honestly one of the few deaths that ever I'm like, I need a minute.
I think the only death that got to me in that whole thing was Iron Man's death, which I think got to everybody. That was like a wham right in the ribs.
No, you know, I saw it coming a mile away.
Everybody saw it coming.
I
It has nothing to do with like not seeing it coming. Everyone saw it coming.
I don't
But just
have a, I don't
because
have a brim, but if I had a brim, I'd tip my hat to Tony Stark for doing what he did.
yeah, I don't know. It was done so well. Like so well.
I think it was very well executed. Absolutely.
And Yeah, and I think they captured everyone's like emotion, like him dying, like everyone. I think everyone saw it coming in the beginning of Infinity War. Like it's like, oh yeah, Iron Man. Well, at the time it was like either Cap or Iron Man. One of the two have to die. They have to. And it ends up being Iron Man. And I was like, well, yeah. So, but yeah, that one was heavy, real heavy.
I won't say.
It's funny that Yano or Yahweh,
Yandu.
yeah, Yoko Ono gets fucking killed, and then that one is like, oh man, that took a minute. But like that's like the side characters. Like most people are like, huh, and then the one that everybody was like, oh, you're like, yeah, I saw comments like, well, no shit.
Well,
like, I think your senses are backwards.
Well, no, because everybody knew.
Did you see the one guy that fell off the building in the first Avengers? I couldn't watch the movie again for a year.
No,
like,
here's the thing. The main characters, it's all like, yeah, they're untouchable. Look at them. They get close to dying, but they're not going to die. Then it's like, well.
Right,
you know,
like James Bond.
They all eventually, hey, fuck you, shut up.
It's the same thing.
He lives.
I know, all the time.
So, yeah. So when that death was coming, I'm like, I know. All right. Saw it coming. It's going to happen. Watch. He dies, and I'm like, tip my hat to you, sir. You gave up what you gave it. You did what you set out to do. You literally accomplished what the initiative of what the whole point of the Avengers was, to defend the Earth from.
See, I think that's why it didn't affect you, because you just read it on a superficial level. Like, I think you missed everything, everything in between. Go ahead, then.
Okay. You're paid to do a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go through a real hard day, and everything's against you, but you get your job done.
Mm-hmm.
Do I sit there and say, I am so proud of you because you beat all adversity and got your job done? No. At a logical level, listen, we all have bad days. You went above and beyond. You got the job done. Good on you, bro. Let's move on to the next thing.
Right.
That's what it was.
That's that's a very superficial way to look at it.
I don't know if superficial is the right word.
So, well, that's just like, yeah, it is very surface level. This is what happened, and moving on.
It sucks. He died. Yes, I'll give you that 100%.
Yeah, of course. But it's not like a slight or anything against you. I would understand why you're like, oh yeah, that sucks, but because there were so many other layers to his death and what it meant, like to him, to his character, to the development of his character to that point, and why as far as Pepper there, whatever.
Yeah.
Like her saying you can rest now, like the story like behind that saying, like there were so many other layers to why. Like when I saw it, I'm like, oh, like the small one lines, like the hug between Spider-Man, like what that led up to, like what is it, 3 or 4, like 2 or 3 movies prior to that, the hug, like right from the first Spider-Man Homecoming movie when Iron Man reaches over in the car to let him out, and Spider-Man Peter thought, oh, he's gonna hug me because he doesn't have a father figure, so he saw him as a father figure, and he goes, no, it's just opening the door. But then at the end of that, when he sees him come back from being snapped, and he actually hugs him, because like that hug that I think Peter was looking for the first time around when he saw him, that's when he actually gives it to him, so he's back, and that's when Tony went from being like that kind of course, he's in the middle of morphing during Homecoming. He went from that course business kind of whatever to finally acting sort of as a friend / father figure to Peter Parker. So then he actually gives him that hug. And then when Tony's dying, then he goes and like basically it's like, oh, that's sort of my dad figure now dying, so like there's that level there, and he's saying it's like you can rest now, because everything up to that shows Tony Stark doing everything in his power to try to save everybody, but every time he'd do it, it would just create another problem with multiple layers. So now he finally figures it out. Hey, this is what happens in the 14 million different things that Strange saw. I saw all these different fights, and this is the only way we win, which actually isn't. It's not the only way they win, because now we've seen other timelines where Thanos was destroyed by the Illuminati and Multiverse of Madness.
Yep.
But that's the one where if Tony doesn't die, then he becomes the variant of Doomsday because he's so obsessed with protecting everyone. He becomes this other variant. So Strange already saw Tony Stark as like, if Tony doesn't die here, something bigger, worse comes out of this. This is the only timeline where if Tony dies, Thanos dies, and we're okay until they break open the multiverse, and now we got a whole fucking shitload of problems. But him dying...
It's not like him dying did anything.
yeah, it's almost like it doesn't matter now. Thanks, Disney. But
so now do you feel bad that he died?
Now I don't. No, and that's the problem. That's a whole fucking other problem.
Yes.
But going all the way...
hate flow through you.
But going all the way back,
Good.
when Annie says you can rest now, like, that has that much weight behind it. And then there's a whole multitude of other things. Like, I'd have to sit and actually, like, watch the movies again. But, like, there was a lot of weight. So just, I guess, kind of chalking up to be like, oh, yeah, he did his job. He could do it. It's like, good for you. That's what I mean. Like, that's a very surface level way to look at it.
Maybe I said it wrong. That I'm not saying his death.
It's a fucking geek ass rant.
I'm not saying
that warmed
his
me
death.
up. I gotta take my pants off now. My arm pants. All right.
I'm not saying his death. I'm not saying his death didn't have.
What's up, everybody?
I already said it like
We're a
20 minutes
half
ago, but
hour in.
I'm not saying his death didn't have value, and I'm not saying it wasn't insignificant.
Right.
I guess to me, it was like I said, it was you know what? Very well done. I think you guys did fucking good. That is what this movie needed. I think it was very ideal. I think the way it was executed, I see all the weight behind it, but for some reason, that didn't tug on me the way Yondu's death did.
You see, you just need to look at the camera right now and admit to everyone you're a fucking cold-hearted asshole.
Fuck you! I'm not a cold motherfucker. I needed a minute when Yondu.
Except when it comes to the people that just whistle and throw sticks at people. Or
Yondu. Okay, so answer me this. Here's the thing.
No, it was good.
Here's the thing.
It was good, but
so how many movies was Tony Stark in?
all of them.
How
like,
many
I don't know,
movies?
a whole bunch. Out of 22, he's probably in like, what, 8 or something like that?
Enough.
A lot.
Yondu, how many movies was he in?
I don't know. He's in like half of one. Or half of 3. I don't know.
He's in the first one for a couple scenes.
Right.
He's in the second one for a bunch. And he's in the third one. No, you see memories of him in the third one.
Yeah, you see his like spirit or memory, whatever.
Yes. But, so...
And I think he...
Okay, hold on. Really
Was
quick.
he in like the Avengers or was he in Infinity War?
Yeah, you see him on the field.
Something like that.
So we'll go 3 because half of one is a ghost, as a Jedi spirit, and the other half
He's a fucking Force ghost in
Force
3.
ghost. So answer me this:
Riddle me this.
why did it take 8 to 10 fucking movies for that character development to get Tony Stark to do that when they accomplished it fucking perfectly in 2.5 movies with Yondu? Course asshole. Hold on. Course asshole does what he has to do to get the job done. Second one develops a connection and an emotion and realizes the error of his ways and wants to save everybody and ends up saving what's most important to him and dies.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
3 fucking movies.
Or
But it took fucking 8 for Tony Stark. Not saying the guy wasn't important. Love you, Tony. RDJ. But they did it fucking perfectly with Yondu in 3 movies. 2.5, technically.
or maybe just Disney was getting contractually getting every penny that was worth out of Robert Downey Jr. So man, we paid him how much money? Put 10 movies on that. I think he signed up for
The Incredible Hulk, he was in at the very end.
Yep. That's the one with Edward Norton, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All 3 Iron Mans.
I hope.
All 3 Avengers. So wait.
No, there was 4 Avengers. Avengers, Ultron, Infinity War, Endgame.
Okay, so 4. So yeah. So we have
So that's 7.
Incredible Hulk.
8.
Iron Mans. 8. The Avengers. Don't forget Civil War.
Civil War.
It's 9.
He was also in. Was he in?
Tell me, I'll
I
remember.
don't know if he was in Winter Soldier. No, I think
No.
I wasn't Winter Soldier.
He was in Spider-Man.
Yep, Spider-Man Homecoming.
That's 10. He
Was he in
was...
Far From Home? The
I
second
don't
one?
remember.
I can't remember that one either.
Yes, because he wants the suit back.
Are you sure that was Far From Home, or was
That
that
wasn't-
Homecoming?
That wasn't Homecoming. Wait, maybe it was. I don't know. Shit. Regardless, we're up to 10 movies so far.
Let's see. And I don't know if he was in any other ones. So we'll just say 10 out of 22 movies.
So, yeah.
But there again, that's probably why there was, to most other people, there was more weight behind his death because there was so much more character instead of Mary Poppins. Mohawk Mary Poppins.
But he still had to...
He was a stick figure whistle guy. Like,
Sometimes less is more. Much like my sex life.
we more
Or my
screen-
penis.
we
Sometimes less is more.
we need less screen time from you, Mr. Mary Poppins.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. I think it's the
Mary
line.
Poppins cool. She was the coolest. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I remember. Oh, that was good.
Yeah. I don't even remember how we got the fuck on that.
Man, we just talked about character dying.
Yeah, like I said, I don't remember how.
Oh, alternate universe, becoming Doomsday. So here's the thing. Yeah, way to go, fuck. Oh, wait, you had to kill him, didn't you? Walt Disney. Oh, boy. Comes back as fucking Dr. Doom anyway.
But yeah, that's. When he was announced as Doctor Doom, I wasn't completely, I guess, disheartened by it. Because it's like, okay, he's Doom. And their explanation is like, this is a different variant of Tony Stark becoming Doctor Doom. Basically the beginning of what we saw in like Civil War and all of that. So I wanted to create an iron, an iron suit around the Earth. And Iron Man 3 specifically. Ultron, that was another one. So we saw where that was starting. You saw kind of the roots of that being, the seed being planted. This is what happened if he went down that path. It'd be Doctor Doom. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. If they brought Iron Man back in any way, shape, or form, it completely bastardized his death in Endgame. So that's why when I heard rumors like, oh man, Robert Downey Jr. might be coming back, I'm like, fucking why? Why? Because if he comes back, I don't care if it's from another timeline. That's just a Days of Our Lives bullshit excuse to be like, this person's been killed off 18 times, but I'm back, season 38. Ah. Like, I think it's just bullshit. But they didn't do that. I'm like, okay, so they found a way to get him back in, because he's awesome in whatever role he's playing here.
He's a
but
good actor.
not as Iron Man. I'm like, fine. I'll buy it. I'm a wrestling fan. Throw me bullshit. Most of the time, I'm like, okay, let's see. What do you got? But there's sometimes even wrestling fans be like, fuck you. No. No, no, no. And that was one of them. Because if Iron Man, look, Iron Man, I'm back. Bam! Get out of here.
Before you even consider, I'm going to blank on your blank with my buddies while we blanky blank all over your blank and blank.
Exactly. Vince McMahon would have a field day with this. Actually, that would be a Vince McMahon / Vince Russo thing to do. We're going to have an Iron Man on a pole match.
I think the only way... Have you seen The Adam Project with Ryan Reynolds? Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah. Is that the one where he goes back in time or
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
Finds his younger self.
Yeah.
I think that would be the only way this is just my opinion. I think that'd be the only way they could successfully bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
I don't know.
No, hear me out. Go to a timeline where he's still there. Listen, you can't be here. In your universe, I'm dead. We've already seen what comes of messing with this. You need to go. And then they leave. But not before getting that little bit of Tony Stark pizzazz advice
So you're talking about like a one-off.
like a cameo of himself. Like they go, listen, we found a way to beat Doctor Doom because we know he's a Tony Stark variation. We got to go to another universe where we have Tony because we have to extract his DNA or something. And he literally says, no, look, you can't be here. Your universe, your timeline is your thing. Like the monk lady was trying to do with Doctor Strange when he was going to the multiverse. Or Hulk to go back to get the stone.
Right.
Like, listen, we understand there's fucking problems, but there's a natural order and you cannot keep fucking with it because this is what happens when you do. You need to go.
No, I'd still be apprehensive about it.
And there'd be only one person that could do it.
Loki?
Iron Man's daughter.
Oh, Ironheart.
Because, yeah, she'd be the only one I think that could pull off that sort of a spin.
But no, if you're going to have Ironheart, just have Ironheart. Like, forget Iron Man. Like, I'm very much, you're not going to sell me on anything other than Tony Stark is dead. That variation of Tony Stark from, Universe 616 is
whatever.
Dead.
But Ironheart being the only one, because she's got Tony Stark's DNA, who could actually go back and meet him to get this information or maybe try to convince him to come back or something, and he shuts down his own daughter to preserve the timeline she's from because she's his daughter. Right. And I think that'd be the only way they could spin it and it actually work. And you say you'll never sell it on me, but if you watched it, I almost guarantee you'd go, not happy about it, but I don't think they dropped the ball too awful bad with it. So,
no, I mean, they might have a compelling story, but I would still think if they brought Iron Man in any way, shape, or form back, his death in Endgame lessens in value.
No, I don't mean bringing him back for good.
Either way, in any way or shape or form, because all that does now is you open up the door of like, listen, Iron Man is still there in the MCU after his death.
But he is. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you spin
is,
it.
but it's not on the screen of MCU. As long as he's not on, like, we can know that there's going to be a fucking like how many million variations of Iron Man? Good, bad, neutral. Somewhere he's not even Iron Man. It's just Tony Stark. He's still just an asshole selling weapons to terrorists and everything. Like, there's all those variations. Everyone knows that. But as far as the MCU stories go with the villains coming in, he's dead.
Yeah, but you see, I think that would make his death actually give weight to me. Because not only did he give his life, not only did he give his life to protect his universe, do what he had to do to get it done, but he is so adamant by sticking by that code that even another variation of him says, no, you can't do this. You can't keep messing with it. You're going to cause more harm than good. You need to leave. That would be like, you know what? Fuck it. He died, and holy shit, even him knowing he died because he knows the only reason you'd be here is because he's dead in your universe and still says you need to leave. That right there, like, oh, dude, ow. He is so committed to protecting, he's not even willing to try to disrupt anything anymore.
It's funny, your variation of Iron Man just sounds like an asshole neighbor. It'd be like, get the fuck off my property.
No, he knows it's for the betterment of
this is Universe 617. It's like next door to the Tony Stark that died. Like, hey, could you come over? I need to borrow some sugar. I'm making some cookies. Fuck you.
Listen, I know in your universe I'm dead. That's the only reason you'd be here. You need to fucking leave. There's a 7-Eleven down the street. They sell sugar by the packets. Get your cup there. No, I think that would genuinely, because then here you have Tony Stark being given the chance to be that arrogant, told you I was right about everything, but he's so humbled knowing that he's died in your universe, that that's the only reason you'd be there was for his help. He says, no, look, I can't fuck with it.
What if he goes, he knows he died in your universe, like, oh man, you got the shitty version of me. It's like, I wouldn't normally die.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if you put a spin on it and made it comical, it's like, you fucking arrogant prick. But then he realizes, all right, all jokes aside.
God, even the shitty versions need help. All right, let's go,
No,
fucking
he wouldn't do it, though.
I don't know.
He's like, look, I'm sorry you're Tony. No, I'm sorry your Tony was subpar. I know you came to me to get the help you needed. But you know what? I already got my own universe to worry about. I got my daughter. I got my wife. Fuck off. Have a nice day.
I think we're turning this Tony story into like
Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
Like sands to the hourglass.
Is it now we're doing what Disney started doing and overcomplicating everything and introducing a whole bunch of shit that's like, what the
But we'd be happy if we got what we wanted, wouldn't
fuck
we?
is... No, not always. Not always. If there's one thing, once again, going back as a wrestling fan, there's one thing I've learned being a wrestling fan is when you always get exactly what you want, sometimes you don't actually want what you thought you did. Case in point,
Catholic Church.
wrestling. Different wrestling.
Oh, sorry.
Case in point, Tony Khan, AEW. He's a multi-billionaire kid who has a wrestling industry or organization, and he's booking all the wrestlers like he has a figures fed sitting in his backyard as a 10-year-old. You're going to do everything. Everyone's a spot monkey. There's no fucking selling moves. We're just going to have everything. What's the story? I don't know. Just fucking, they're going after something here. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Get these two guys to face
Worst
each other.
part is this all makes sense to me.
It does. Because any wrestling fan, that's not an AEW mark or fucking, or even if they blindly just follow WWE and they just don't like AEW, like either way, if you're just a wrestling fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, man, this guy's fucking, like, what are you doing? It's just because you always get exactly what you want, it's like, doesn't mean that's always what you actually want. Because there's been times I've watched stuff, was like, yeah, this would be great. And then it happens, you're like, man, that didn't pan out what I thought it was. Same thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, just because I was like, this is what I want.
I hope they do it. I hope they do what I said.
I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point because I don't really follow it anymore. Like, I have no fucking idea what order they've gone in since Endgame. I think, like, Moon Knight or Moonveil Knight, whatever the fuck his name. That show came out. I watched a couple episodes. And when She-Hulk came out, I watched the first episode. I'm like, you know, I think I'm done with Marvel for a while. And I just stopped.
Why is she saving the world when she should be shaving her legs? Why is she serving up justice when she should be serving me a sandwich?
What's it? No,
Is that what you were thinking?
No, I think that's what I said. But no, it was...
Could you imagine what sex with her would be like?
You know, it was this line specifically that just switched off in my brain, where my brain just goes, nope, done.
Hulk smash.
And when she was talking to Professor Hulk, when she was talking to him, I'll let him do his thing. When she was talking to Bruce, and they're like comparing, it's like Bruce is trying to get her to control whatever the fuck she's trying to do. And Bruce said something about, you gotta control your anger, your emotions, whatever it was, and she goes, I have to walk down the street and take my life, you know, my life's at jeopardy, like, every day. You don't know anything about controlling emotion. Like, as soon as that whole spiel went out, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I was like,
every time she walks down the street, she's afraid some J6ers are going to rape her.
Something like that, yeah. That's basically, like, that was the temperature. So I was like, after that, I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing in Disney. And I was like, I don't know.
America on crack. Use those initials.
Yeah. I don't
America on crack was definitely afraid of the J6ers raping her.
Did he? We have footage of that. It's on the channel. But so that's cross promotion, you like that? But yeah, after that I was like, I can't fucking, I'm done. But then I wanted to give Guardians. I was like, I like Guardians, so I'll give that a shot. And I was like, overall, I'm like, yeah, it's good.
Definitely.
The ending was like whatever, but it wasn't terrible by any means.
Well, I think for me, metaphorically, it was the Avengers are here on Earth, Guardians are out there in space. You notice how after the Avengers were done, they kind of na.
Right.
That Guardians, when they were done, it was na.
I think, yeah, but this is the first time they did that. That's why this time I was like, wait, what? We're just disbanding? What are we doing here? Like all the other times, they are just all right, on to the next adventure, you know?
Yeah.
So I was waiting for Sentry to appear. Because at first, I forgot about Adam Warlock, like that teaser at the end. I think it was the first one. he was teased.
Yes.
At the end of it, completely forgot about it. And then I saw him show up here, just the gold color. I'm like, is that Sentry? Like, I didn't even know he was. Oh no, it's Adam. I was like, Adam. And then they said something about Warlock. I'm like, Adam Warlock. That's right.
I think they did that very well. See, that's the thing. The Guardians of the Galaxy movies, I think they were very well done.
Yeah.
They teased to Warlock, then you didn't hear a fucking glint of anything from the second one.
No, you didn't.
Then all of a sudden, boop, third one.
Which I was fine with that. Like, I was fine with all that. I thought Adam Warlock was fun. He was a fun character. But I did hear that Sentry at some point is going to be in. I'm like, that'd be interesting. And hopefully, because it's, it's Marvel's Superman, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But at least it's not just called Superman. Like, I fucking hate Superman.
Yeah.
I can't stand Superman. He's such a boring character. I'm weak to magic and green quartz crystals. Anyway, so 45 minutes later. Welcome, everybody, again. Get on topic here. So, a catch-all. Philly won, and then burnt down the city anyway. Which I think we said that before. We were talking about like who was going to win.
Either they're going to win, either they're going to lose, be upset, and burn down their city,
yeah,
or they're going to win, and they're going to celebrate and burn down their city.
And they did. No, it didn't fail. It was like tongue-in-cheek because that's like the running joke of Philly. But it was the next morning.
They really are the worst fucking fans. And the worst part is, after they won, like, TikTok blew up. Like, all 50 states, all of their freaking the teams from all the fans, whatever, of every team, the fans of every team, whatever, they were all like, yeah, no, like, they all voted.
Yep.
Basically, media voted that Philly fans are the worst.
They were, yeah, they are. You are. Philly fans, I'm
we're not saying you're bad people, just you're very fucking piss poor winners and losers.
Yeah, your fan base for your sports teams are just garbage. You just are. It's not opinion.
When you're in sports mode,
it's fact.
Because I've met some good people that when they're like if they're an Eagles fan or the Philadelphia. What's the baseball team?
The Phillies.
Whatever. The Phillies. Yeah. What's the basketball team?
The Flyers.
I don't fucking know. I'm just saying, when you got the diehard fan who only watches basketball and they're watching the Flyers, they're fucking assholes during basketball season. Off season, I'll give you the shirt off my back. Oh, you want a blowjob for fun? Well, I've had a good day, so I might as well spread the wealth. Outside of
San Francisco? Oh, Philly.
Outside of their favorite
Two
team,
different cities.
They are great people. But the minute their team starts playing, fuck them.
That's what I mean. Their fan base is fucking garbage. It's such a bad group of fans. Like, we lost, torch it all. We won, torch it all. And I go on the news and I see a video of
the stoplight,
a traffic light, and they're beating. Fuck this traffic light.
Like, we won.
Why?
Yeah.
Why are they beating a traffic light? What the poor
because the red
traffic light, the poor traffic light's on the ground screaming, "I can't breathe," and they don't even care.
Because the traffic light said red the one moment they lost the game, so it stopped them from winning.
Kansas City? I don't think so. You better switch to green.
Speaking of fucking Kansas City,
what about
the fucking? They didn't even need a roofie to get fucked.
Yeah, it's almost like they're like, I don't know, like a.
Sorry for the perfect analogy.
Going back to the last,
if they were a chick in the bar with the fat of the skinny girl, I'll take my chances. Here, drink this.
Going back to the last episode before the Super Bowl, we were talking about it, and I said if they win, we get it out of the way. Not talking about conspiracy theories behind the NFL and everything.
Yeah.
If they win, then great. Now they got to go, oh shit, we won again. Now it's like, if it's scripted, it's like, now we can't win next year because everyone's going to be like, now hold the fuck on. But if they lose, we get the Philly fan base. Didn't disappoint. But now they had the opportunity, well, next year we can win again because we lost one in between. If they show up, and we'll go with the scripted story. Taylor's there, but also Trump's there. First president to ever go. So let's go with the script story. So Trump shows up, and now the NFL, Roger Goodell's like, "Oh fuck, we can't do it now. The leader of the fucking country's here." So
I'm gonna go.
What if DOGE comes in and fucks us?
I'm gonna go to every KC game to support them because they are an amazing team. They are an American team. They are not made in China. Okay, they are the perfect team. They're an American team, and that's what America does. We win, and that's why I'm gonna go and watch their games. And they lose the entire season.
You know what's funny is
0-18. There's only 17 games. They lost 2 for next year.
Yeah. If you go on TikTok, there was one specific video of a woman blaming their loss on Trump
because he was there.
Like, well, he was there, and so if you don't want anyone to blame the kicker because he's a Trump supporter. I'm like, how the fuck do you like what?
Yeah, it was an older woman.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this is like a week or 2 ago, whatever it was at this point. But I just saw that. I'm like, what? I'm like, of course. That was the reason. I forgot.
But yeah.
So
they were the fat chick at the bar that you literally, like, you hauled the roofie over the drink and, like, I like my odds. Put that pill away for the next hottie.
Well, it's a story. Dozens arrested in Philadelphia after Eagles win the Super Bowl. This is from ABC 7. Philadelphia police reported nearly 50 arrests following the Eagles win against Kansas City and New Orleans on Sunday. Amongst those, 5 people were arrested for assault on police officers. Authorities said there were also 2 arrests for aggravated assault, 1 for recklessly endangering another person, 1 for misdemeanor disorderly conduct in the 3rd degree, police said. Additionally, police said 29 people were arrested for disorderly conduct and issued code violation notices. And there's a amid the ruckus celebrations, fans were captured passing a traffic light or down traffic light pole on a packed street. And there's a video on the news thing of just the riot in the middle of the street with a fucking fire. We won. You'd think it was a BLM riot or something. It's like, no, it was just Philly. They won the Super Bowl.
Antifa's back? No. Yeah. Philadelphia won the Super Bowl. Oh, thank God. Thought it was something important.
31 people were issued citations, disorderly conduct, and so, you know, the what I said came to pass. They they rioted in the streets and burnt stuff down and whatever. At the same time, that at that time anyway was still the raging fires and everything out in California. So, yeah. Say, haven't you learned your lesson with setting fires to shit? Jeez. And more recently, we got, what's this? 9-1. Okay, this is yeah, okay. 9-1 Monster body wash, I guess. This is what it says. Shampoo, conditioner, body wash, soap, lotion, pre-workout protein, creatine, and testosterone. Now, if there's anything that's very false in this, is testosterone, because that definitely energy drinks do not.
That's 0 sugar.
At least there's that.
So
what's in there then? Why is it so sweet?
Yeah, right?
Aspartame, which turns into
delicious wood alcohol.
No, it turns into something comparable to formaldehyde if it ferments in anything above, I think, 86 degrees for an extended period of time. Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Anyway, Kash Patel approved as FBI director. That's the latest one.
Yeah.
He's kind of moderate. So that was a good call by him. But then, I don't know if you heard this. So Kash Patel a couple days ago gets confirmed.
Yeah.
And then Kash and Trump, they name Dan Bongino the deputy director.
Yeah, isn't he the one that started out as
he was a police officer, and then he worked Secret Service for the Bush administration and Obama administration. And and now if you ask legacy media, he's very, very big on, air quotes, conspiracy theories, and very critical of the deep state, speaks out against him all the time. So this is kind of a brilliant move because Kash is, like I said, a moderate. He's critical of some things of the government, but he's more moderate. So if Trump would have nominated Dan Bongino as director of the FBI, it would have been shut down immediately. So they can't just throw him in. It's kind of like Matt Gaetz when he was first put up for AG, I think it was. And everyone's like, no. There's a lot of backlash. So he puts Kash Patel in that position. He gets confirmed. And then he names Dan Bongino as deputy director, an appointed position. So they can't say. So now he gets put in. And the deep state is now going, oh, shit. What do we do now? So I thought that was great. And this is just another nominee that Trump has put in to this fucking political real-life Avengers team that is getting confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they got Hegseth for the borders, RFK for health. Tulsi
what was it? Hegseth?
Pete Hegseth. Hegseth.
Yeah. Did you hear his article? Did you hear the interview he did?
I want to start off.
If I offend you, I don't give a shit.
I was like, that's based. It's like, I don't give a shit. I was like,
straight up.
I think.
He straight up, happy to be here.
I think.
He just put, yeah, I did.
I think, here's the reason I think why a lot of these picks, Hegseth specifically, is getting such a positive response by not just Trump supporters, but a lot of like just normies that even really don't follow. I think so many people, and this really started from like Gamergate back in 2014. It started there, and now it's just gone to across every corner of social and cultural anything. Everyone's so sick and tired of being tone policed by everybody. You know, I don't like what you're saying. It's offensive. I don't like doing what you're doing. We're going to inject everything that we think is right, and everything that you think is right that was before is completely wrong. You're racist. You're a Nazi. Blah, 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 blah. Everyone's so fucking sick of that. So finally, when someone like Hegseth gets put in and just basically spits in the face of all that, and like what he said there is like, if this offends you, I don't give a shit. There is such a large collective sigh of like, finally. And the fact that he's just going down when it comes to the border and be like, very black and white. Which for someone like me, perfect. Like, I don't like that. We just had this conversation earlier. It's like, I don't like the beating around the bush thing. I'm very direct. Like, listen, what are you saying? This? Okay. What are you doing? That? Okay. And that's what Hegseth is. Direct. No, this is what we're doing. And especially in this position in politics, anything political, that's what needs to be done. None of this, we'll think about it, and then I'll see what I can do. If you're going to do it,
foot out of your ass and says, do I have to put it back or are you going to get moving?
If you're going to do it, do it. And that's what this is. And I think a lot of people, it's like, finally, someone is driving the fucking machine in a direction. So that's what's nice. And then Tulsi Gabbard as director of the CIA.
Yeah.
And what else? Pam Bondi, Attorney General. Chris Wright and Doug Burnham. And Scott Turner, all as Secretary. Elise Stefanik as Ambassador. And like I said, of course, there'd be pushback when going back to Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino, the former Secret Service agent turned Fox News host and conservative podcast personality, will be the next deputy director of the FBI, a choice that is drawing criticism from Democrats as another one of the President Donald Trump's allies moves into the leadership position. Trump named Bongino, a 2020 election denier, as deputy FBI director on Sunday to serve under newly confirmed FBI director Kash Patel. Bongino, who left Fox News in 2023, hosts a popular right-wing and pro-Trump podcast called The Dan Bongino Show, which ranks among Apple's top 10 news podcasts. On Monday morning, a very emotional Bongino told his show listeners that he was sitting at home watching TV when Trump called him to let him know that he was going to appoint him as deputy director to the FBI. Bongino told his listeners he wanted the deputy FBI director job. I got the call, but all right. Typically, the position of the FBI's deputy director is held by a career agent, something Bongino is not. The FBI's deputy director is responsible for the day-to-day operations and running the agency. Position does not require Senate confirmation. No, like I said, it's appointed. here's a thing that's kind of admirable. Like he gets millions and millions and millions of views. He makes multi-millions of dollars in doing that. The reason why I think this is a good move for Bongino and for just his recognition and how important he sees this position, he's giving up those multiple millions of dollars to go into a government job where he's making a couple $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do that. It's like, hey, you're making a job, or you're doing a job where you're running your mouth on the internet and making stupid number $100 million a year. You could we could just do Dan Bongino's show for him while he's gone. You could step aside.
Just saying.
You could step aside and do this job, which you're going to get a lot of fucking flack for. See, at least in your podcast, you're in your corner and you're talking to people who want to listen to you. Well, now let's just walk away from that. Come over here for a second. And see, here's the people that you normally talk to. They're still there.
Opening the van door.
But here's all the other people.
And here's the candy.
Yeah.
Make it in.
Now, you're only going to make a fraction of what you were making before. But hey, here's the selling point right here. All the people that hate you are going to be way fucking louder than anyone that likes you. So that's all you're going to hear for the next 4 years.
Oh,
how's that sound? Most people, including myself, be like, I don't know. Bongino goes, fuck yeah, I'll do it. So that alone is like, all right, so he wants to fucking do something that actually betters anything. And like I said before, because he's so critical of the deep state now is shitting their pants.
Oh,
not only were they shitting their pants over DOGE, like doing everything that they're doing, and be like, we saved, as of like about 3-4 days ago, they saved the United States, or cut $109 billion. Ooh, great. So, but now Bongino is in a position where he's going to, so now the deep state's like, oh, DOGE, Bongino, Trump, oh.
It's the fire it's the fire triangle. There's no way I'm not getting burned on this one.
So, yeah. Speaking of DOGE,
Doge.
did you hear about the kickback, whatever, from DOGE
I
savings?
did hear about that.
Like when I first heard, people was like, "Oh man, DOGE is going to send out $5,000 checks to like registered voters for the money they saved." And I'm like, "Well, 5,000." I'm like, "Wait a minute, 5,000? How many registered voters are there?" So it was like I had to look it up. It's 161 million registered voters, right? And I'm just right off the bat, I'm like, that math isn't making sense. Like they saved $109 billion. Like that doesn't add up. So I did the calculations. I'm like, I'm at work. I'm like, that's $134 and like 80 something cents a person. Like that doesn't make sense. And then
what? That's how many? Hold on.
161 million voters.
Okay, so let's.
Okay,
hold on,
so you divide 109 billion by 161
Hold on.
million.
That's million. 109 billion. There you go. Divided by how much?
161 million.
161.
It's like 134.85 or 64 or something like that.
No. 677. 109 billion. That's,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm leaving out part of it. 20% of what they save. So 109 billion times 20%, or times 0.20 equals, and then that divided by 161 billion. That
21 billion, 21.8 billion divided by 161 million. $135.
Yeah. So I was like, that doesn't make sense. But then today I actually heard it's actually if Elon hits, or DOGE hits their goal of $2 trillion, I'm like, all right, that makes more sense. But when I did that, I'm like, well, that's still only about $2,500. So like, where's the other $2,500? That's only half of what you're saying.
Well, no, from what I heard, it's 20-20-60. 20% is going to go to
Taxpayers.
20% is going to go to
Taxpayers. Sorry, fever dream. I don't know.
And then 60% is going to get rolled back into the national debt or over the next year kind of thing. Like, hey, look.
Which would be nice.
Yeah.
We're never going to pay down $36 trillion. It ain't happening. Like,
here's an idea.
Very reluctant.
Hit that $2 trillion, don't give anybody back any money, just cut the income tax. And now
that's what
we took it from 36 million down to 36 trillion down to 34 trillion.
That's what I say.
If we do that over the next 4 years,
put it back in everything that the United States owes right now. Or here's another novel idea. Instead of doing that, put it back into infrastructure for the United States. A big one that we could improve or update was the power grid. That's 140 years outdated. I mean, there's no manpower to do that, so that's why that's not done now. But that would be I would be all for that. It's like, don't send me a check, put it towards something, because most people that get the check, they're just going to blow it on cocaine and hookers. Most people.
Peter Steele's dead.
That's right.
So we're safe.
Okay.
Phil's safe at least.
Well, that was heroin. He was
No, I meant from getting his ass kicked.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so I saw that and I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. So I'm like, I don't know if I want another stimulus check. If it comes from what they're saving and somehow, however they do it works out, even if I got like a $2,500 check from what they're saving, I'm like, all right, I guess, whatever. But then, of course, this all comes out. Everything they're doing, cutting these positions, cutting whatever. Mm-hmm. One, they had, I can't remember what branch it was. They actually had to hire back some of the people they cut and some kind of tech or AI, something or other, in a government position because, like, oh shit, like this person actually knows, like, whatever the programming is for whatever that is. And a lot of people get flagged. Oh, you see, you're hiring back, you don't know what they're doing. It's like, well, that's a simple answer to that. He made a mistake. He corrected it. Done. Moving on. Okay? But now, with all the cuts, all the money that they're saving or finding that's wasted or not finding at all and trying to correct it, legacy media steps in, as they would. And now they're all worried about driving with these stimulus checks or whatever, kickback or whatever, these checks from this money that they're saving. Now legacy media is saying, you're going to send us these checks and you're just going to drive up the inflation. You're going to drive, it's going to cause inflation to skyrocket, and we're worried about the debt and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, that's magical. Where was all that concern when it came to, I don't know, immigrants, the illegals coming across the border and sending how much money we fucking spent on them? Where was that concern there about inflation?
Yeah, I think I sent you a TikTok video.
Maybe. Dude, I haven't been on TikTok. Like, I've just...
I've been sending you fucking TikTok videos for nothing, then.
I'm so... I think with the shutdown and then the comeback with TikTok, and I'm like, fuck, whatever. Where was that same sentiment when it came to the Ukraine? All the money we sent to Ukraine.
Right here.
The crazy-ass money.
I hope that he
Whoa!
is. I don't like the approach when you base fraud and abuse. And by the way, James, I hope that he is. I don't like the approach, but I like the fact that something's being done. There is no...
Oh, this is the guy that told him, he's like, this is my show, and I don't normally... Yeah, this has been all over.
So whatever the savings ought to be, it's not...
But it's funny how this guy says...
He's a rep for DOGE, yeah.
Yeah, he goes, well, listen, where were you worried? He said the exact same thing you said. Like, why wasn't the debt an issue when you were sending $7,000 a month per immigrant?
Exactly. Like, and that's why when they're like, well, what about this? Like, hold the fuck on. Like, wait a minute. And exactly that. It's like, how come you weren't worried about this? What about COVID stimulus fucking package? We went right off the bat. Before they sent it out, I'm like, why? This is not a good idea. You can't just fucking print a shit ton of money out of thin air and be like, spend it, it'll help. It's like, that's not going to help. Lo and behold, what happened? Like, so the whole thing, I'm like, what? And then now legacy media is like, well, we can't do that. It'll drive up inflation. It's like, where the fuck is that idea been for the last 5 years? It's like, what are you talking about?
I'm going to take that $5,000 and I'm going to put it right in the bank. So that when they ask for it back, I don't have to pull down my pants and spread my cheeks and lift my sack.
Like, did he? Because that whatever Diddy did do, evidently his lawyer, and be like, I can't do this. I'm out. Yeah.
His lawyer stepped out?
Yes.
I didn't hear about that.
But it gets even better. Let me open up the article. But there's part of it that I don't even know if it's in this article, but that I know. And I'm like, whoa, that tells you something. So, Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer quits sex trafficking case. Under no circumstance can I continue. So, one of Sean Diddy Combs' defense lawyers quit the disgraced music producer's criminal sex trafficking case. New court papers show. Anthony Rico filed a motion, of course, a motion Thursday to withdraw as one of the Bad Boy Records' 6 defense attorneys without explanation. Rico's bid to step down won't be official until a judge signs off on it. A judge must find sufficient reason to approve such a request. Under no circumstance can they continue to effectively serve as counsel to Sean Combs, Rico wrote in a Manhattan federal court affidavit. It is respectfully but regrettably requested that the court grant the relief requested. The lawyer didn't elaborate on why he wanted to step down, but noted that the decision came after speaking with Combs' lead counsel, Mark Agnifilo. The attorney suggested that the cause for the affidavit's brevity is because he didn't want to divulge any information protected by attorney-client privilege. So, here's the thing. He files an affidavit. He wants to step down. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's a reason that's completely outside of the case or whatever it is. And he's one of 6. It's his team. He just abruptly says, I'm not doing this. I don't think that he would have a moral just like, oh, everything you've done here is wrong. If allegedly, Diddy's guilty of all this shit. So I don't think he would be a lawyer to be like, this is all wrong. I can't do this. I can't defend all this and step away. I think this is a case where if it has something to do with what Diddy's done, this might be something where he looks at it and be like, there's no fucking way we can win. I think the weight behind this whole story is that this same lawyer also defended Osama bin Laden.
Okay, no.
So if he's willing to defend bin Laden, but he steps away from Diddy.
No, you said everything I needed to hear. It's not whether Diddy did it or didn't do it. I will put hands down. No, I will put hands down. He's being told, you need to resign. You represented bin Laden, Osama bin Laden. And
yeah, but that's what a lawyer's job is.
You mean to tell me
The United States would appoint him.
United States didn't appoint him to Diddy's case as his defense?
No. Bin Laden. Like, he'll take the case on, but that's just the lawyer's job. It doesn't matter. Like, you could be a lawyer and be like, oh, you got this guy that raped these 2 kids or whatever and, like, murdered them. It's like, fuck. But you have to do your job and defend him. Like, that's just the shitty parts of that job. It's like seeing murder and something as a police officer.
Why are you given the choice to hire a defense attorney if they're just going to give you one anyway? Because every attorney...
From bin Laden?
Well, so hold on. Let me finish this little rant.
Okay,
I think it was a group, hey, look, you need to resign. We're not saying you're bad at this, and we understand you have shady history, but with your representation history list, your clientele history, I think I really think we should try to keep this as blinders on as possible.
But
because
why?
Do you really think bin Laden media attention is good for your defense?
Maybe or maybe not. But
I mean, for God's sakes, do you think I would support you if I found out you hired OJ's attorney?
he did a good job.
He did a damn good job.
So
I would
I
definitely
would
support
I
you.
would hire. Yeah,
But what I'm saying is like Epstein.
but
The
that's what I mean with the whole Diddy list. I'm like, I think that kind of goes out the window because actually here is an interesting poll that it would be interesting to see what the results were. In mind frame now, who would have a worse rap, Diddy or Osama bin Laden from 20 plus years ago?
Did he?
So do I.
And I think knowing that you have legal representation on your team with that, because let's be honest, I'm not saying 9/11 was just
An inside job.
No, I'm not saying like okay, it happened 21, 23 years ago, get over it. No, I'm not saying that.
24.
But no, 2001. Oh yeah, 25. Oh yeah, my bad. 25, whatever.
Oh.
So that is still a very iconic event.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to say iconic isn't a good iconic. No, it was a travesty. It was like I'm not comparing it to the Holocaust, but
It was like the Hindenburg.
the Hindenburg, Holocaust, Genghis Khan, Adolf Hitler. Well, I say Holocaust, whatever. The point, what I'm making it, what I'm trying to point is, there are things.
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
Because we definitely got Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like there are moments in history that no matter how you look at them, there's always going to be a negative light.
Mm-hmm.
You got somebody like Osama bin Laden, whose one act shook the world. It definitely shook America's world.
Yeah, and we were all patriotic and everything for a couple weeks or whatever it was.
Do you really think that kind of shadow is a good one to have in your corner? Even if it's not, like, even
You
if
talking about for the lawyer's sake?
yeah, for anything. I mean, for God's sakes, like Ellen DeGeneres wasn't. She went.
So you're saying just because...
I think so.
Wait. So this is what you're saying. Because of that, we'll say blemish on his...
Yes,
On his career.
his
Portfolio.
his defense career.
Okay. They're looking... The rest of the team is looking at Diddy and everything, that all the allegations against him, be like, listen, we can't have this fucking dark spot added on to the rest of the dark spots.
Yes, I 100% think that's the case.
Might be.
Because let's be honest. I mean, shit.
Or maybe the lawyer took it because I'm like, oh, fuck, maybe they should get this rest of the shit off my back. And it's like, who am I defending this time? Diddy. Fuck!
Yeah.
It's even worse!
And just as well. It could be a toss of the coin. Literally, it could be a flip of the coin. Look, I'm not saying he did it. I'm not saying he didn't. I know I'm here as defense, but I've already got a dark blemish on my career history. I can't have another one of this magnitude.
There's Diddy and be like, is that a racist comment?
No, but seriously, like, he could be, look, man, I can't take a chance again. Like, I'm not saying he did. There's sufficient evidence that says yes and sufficient evidence that says no. I can't take
What's
that.
the evidence that says no?
Oh, no, I'm just saying.
Oh, all right.
This could be his mindset because he sees things we don't. All we're seeing is
That's
what the
what,
media.
like, that's what I mean. Like, really?
all we're seeing is what the media portrays, and it's
yeah.
all this
I don't
dark
even,
shit.
I don't even think it's media. I think it's just everybody else.
Look at
Social
OJ.
media. We'll
Look
put
at
it that
OJ.
way.
We'll go back to the OJ example.
He wrote a book that says, if I did it. I'm like, is this a confession?
But seriously, when it first started, all you heard was the bad.
Oh, yeah.
Then the case started, and all you still in the beginning, all you heard was the bad. Then all of a sudden, Cochran started pulling like some aces out of his sleeve, and it's like, oh wait. Then the court case, the case, calm down.
Right.
And then what happened? The verdict is in. The verdict is in. Boom! It was headline papers. OJ innocent. So when all the negative was out, it was, hey, let's get the media train rolling on this. We're making money. Oh, nothing interesting happening?
Oh, yeah.
Let's not worry about it right now until something interesting does happen. I think...
Same thing with the... sort of parallel with this. I guess Pam Bondi has the Epstein list. I guess her words are like, the Epstein list is on my desk. Now that's... I guess we're that much closer to having it exposed. Like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe we'll have some names to whoever the fuck Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell like traffic these women to, instead of like, oh, you're guilty of trafficking 20 women. To who? Yes.
But seriously, I mean, honestly, would you take, if your professional career relied on a gamble and you've already had that bad of a history, would you take that chance?
Yeah, for Diddy's sake, he'd probably be like, no, I don't need no one.
No, I don't think it's Diddy's call.
I actually,
I think
if just going on what you're saying, just running with that train, I think it would be Diddy's call. Because I think Diddy would be like, listen, I'm fucked either way. So I don't need someone to be like, who'd you defend? Osama? Fuck. That's like the head of a terrorist organization that attacked the United States, who is one of the worst moments in the United States history. I don't need that coming out. But then it did anyway, ultimately. So that just backfires. Like, oh, what? You're getting fucking terrorists to defend you now?
And then, boom, all of a sudden he resigns.
Yeah, well, I'm out. But I think if nothing was ever said, that would have came out. A lot of shit.
Well, how about this? Let me ask you this. Can you find out how long he was on the defense counsel before he resigned? Like, when was he brought in and when did he resign?
Oh, I don't know.
What's the guy's name?
Let me look. Oh, no, not that. Let's see. Get back on the article here.
Yeah, if you could find me his name.
Oh yeah, that's right. Anthony Rico.
Anthony
Ricco.
Ricco. Appointed.
Rico assures the judge that his resignation wouldn't delay the trial, which is set for May 5th.
Okay, so Rico was initially hired in September of 2024 and is one of several was one of several lawyers representing Combs in his federal case. So you mean to tell me September, he just resigned, right? Or he just put in the motion to resign?
Is that the face of an innocent man?
I don't know. It's the face of a man with a heart who bleeds red out of his ass in 6 to 9 months. So like I was saying, he was hired in September. He was appointed in September.
Right.
Or he joined the team. September, October, November, December, January, February. You mean to tell me it took you 5 months to finally grow a conscience? No.
No, that's what I mean. I don't think he'd be like, I can't do this.
No.
Like,
I think
you just think it'd be like they don't need the blemish. Where I'm like, I just think like he saw this and be like, there's no fucking way I can win this. Although it's a whole team, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not just one. I'm sorry.
Or maybe he's just like, I just another fucking huge loss I don't need under my belt.
It's too much of a gamble to risk. Yeah. He's already got the Bin Laden blemish.
Oh, you lost that one. How about Diddy? Oh, I lost that one too. And that's like the big thing with firms and everything. It's like you lost all these big cases. You're fucking. There goes your name on the.
He can't take that gamble.
Well, maybe.
Or the rest of the defense team said, "Look, we're not saying you're not a good
suck.
lawyer, but
you're not a good lawyer.
You don't exactly have the best track record going on for you right now. So let's throw you some softball.
You're like the Bills in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Look, I got all these credentials. I should be doing awesome. Oh. So, let's take a hard right here.
Yeah, hard right to the finish line.
There's a trend in video games, right? Of a lot of games, like AAA games specifically, where the price of the day they drop is $100 plus. But a lot of these games are incomplete, right? What are your thoughts on that?
Not interested.
At all?
Nope. As much as like, GTA 6, for example, that's supposed to be dropping at what? $1.20?
I think so, yeah.
There's going to be DLCs. There's going to be packs to buy.
Isn't there first day DLCs?
Yeah.
That's a fucking problem I have.
So
It's
here's the thing.
Not to cut you off, but the first day and this is like not even $100 games or 100 plus, whatever. First day DLC, I think, is such a bullshit ripoff because that shows right there. It's like this game is not complete.
Exactly.
It's not. If a game is released, whatever comes out the day the game is released should already be in the game.
Yeah.
There should not be any first day DLC anything. Now, if you want to come out with something 3, 4, 6 months down the road, it's DLC, whatever it is, a whole other conversation. But we're dropping this. You can pre-order it for an extra $20 to get 3 days early access, which I'm sorry if you're one of the people to do that, but I think that's fucking retarded. Like, 3 days early. Here's $20 so I can play it with the other 0.5% of people that bought it 3 days early. Whatever it is. I think that's stupid. Like, no, I'll wait till Thursday. It's like, that's fine.
No, but AAA games, any game for that matter, being over 100 and being incomplete, I'm not interested. Sorry. I'm not going to spend that. I mean, for God's fucking sakes, I get it. The technology, the man hours, the programming, the job, it takes time and money. I get that.
Sure it does.
But we'll use the most fucking iconic example I can think of, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Right.
That game has spanned 3 systems.
12 years now.
It's dropped how many DLCs?
I have no fucking idea.
Too many to fucking count.
Yeah, that's called trickle DLC.
And sometimes, like, I mean, shit, you basically, it's all microtransactions now. They have probably made, oh God, they've probably made billions off that game.
At this point,
Hold on.
I don't know about billions, but definitely hundreds of millions.
How much?
One of the reasons
money
that has for an argument for the cost, like going up, is the games have not reflected the cost due to inflation over the last 30 years. What?
Over 8.5 billion. That game has it is the second best-selling video game of all time with 210 million copies shipped and one of the most financially successful entertainment products of all time. With over $8.5 billion in worldwide revenue, its successor, Grand Theft Auto 6, is scheduled to be released in 2025. So this
Shark
game...
cards, of course.
This game, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This
But
game,
there
DLCs, microtransactions. This game has raked in $8.5 billion. Don't tell me for one fucking second that you can explain every dime and dollar for manpower, man hours, programming of that $8.5 billion.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know, but like I said, they one of the arguments for the price hike, they say, is that the price of games haven't reflected the amount of inflation we've had over the last 30 years. Because the games basically, not including that, but the game prices being sold for $40, $50, $60 a game, it was pretty much the same back in Nintendo 64. Like,
Yeah.
brand new games were $60 back then. So they say, well, the game price hasn't, reflected that. So the argument against that, a lot of people are like, yeah, but the quality of game isn't reflecting it either. You're not changing the quality of game from what it was way back then. You want to hike all these prices up and say, well, it costs so much money, like you said, to make all these things. We have how many teams of developers trying to figure out the physics of water so it looks perfect like water in the game. When those things, or even like how these flowers like
Flow in the breeze.
Yeah. But the thing is how often do you pay attention to that stuff when you're playing the game? For like, what? A couple seconds when you go by, you're like, wow, the water looks pretty good. And then you're off playing the game, whatever it is. Unless you're just like, the game is exactly that. Just walk through it and look at nature. But that most
There's
gamers...
a channel for that.
Most gamers don't do that.
Nature High.
It's an old channel. It's an old code, sir, but it checks out. But yeah, so yeah, the quality of the gameplay hasn't increased in the last 30 years. Graphics is a big thing. Like I just said, they have all these people working on all these graphics. But like I said, graphics are not important in what makes a good game. And this last year to 3 years has really drove that point home, because we've had things like Baldur's Gate 3. We've had things like Elden Ring, which is not... Elden Ring is not up to standards as far as like...
Graphics-wise, no.
No. It looks... The art style is fucking magnificent.
Yes.
But if you're talking about graphics, it's late PS3, early PS4 graphics. Like, it's not anything to write home about.
No.
But nobody fucking cared, because the game was so fucking good.
Well done.
It was so good. It was so good. And on top of that, the game comes out and everything is in it. There's no DLC.
You could literally... What, the speedrun was like 12 minutes? The guy beat the game in the fastest?
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I know there's a world record for
Elden Ring?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure there is. But the game was complete. There was no DLCs. There was no skin DLCs. There was no weapon DLCs. There was nothing. Everything was in the game. When they finally did eventually, a couple years later, drop a DLC, it was a $40 DLC. The game was $60. What? What's the record?
As of the latest information available, the fastest Elden speedrun is currently, take a guess,
I don't know, 10 minutes.
under 7.
I mean, I suppose... Yeah,
With
if
the
you know,
world record holder, Distortion 2 was his name, achieving a time of 6 minutes and 59 seconds in the any percent category, utilizing various glitches and exploits to rapidly progress.
See, I don't count that, though. Like, glitches and exploitations, like, no. I mean, impressive,
hold
like
on.
7 minutes with whatever you're doing. Yeah, that's impressive. But if you're talking about, like, actually beating the game...
Nope, hold on. He got it in the any percent category.
Right.
Hold on.
So he can just go through, do the bare minimum.
And complete the game.
Yeah, which is fine.
So, yeah.
But if he's
the
using
fastest
exploitations and glitches...
No. So there's glitch heavily, there's the glitch reliant
Right.
category, the boss skipping category, and the any percent category.
Okay.
So he didn't boss skip or glitch.
That's impressive, then.
The fastest times are usually recorded in the any percent category, meaning players can progress through the game in any way possible, often skipping large portions of content.
Yeah, that's fine.
So he's not skipping bosses, but he's skipping large portions of content.
It'd be interesting to see what the fastest time 100%ing the game is.
Oh, God.
That, I would say 2.5 hours. Maybe 4. Yeah, I'd say maybe just under 4 hours. 3 hours and 58 minutes. Is that right?
No, but
Oh,
close.
okay.
The fastest confirmed 100% speedrun time in Elden Ring is, by Sieg, as recorded on speedrun.com, 2 hours and 59 minutes.
Pretty impressive. Pretty fucking impressive. Yeah, but...
I almost want to watch. It's literally a 2 hour, 59 minute. It's a 2 hour. It's a 3 hour video of this guy beating it in 2 minutes, 59 seconds, and 30 hundredths of a second.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Holy shit!
But anyway, so Elden Ring comes out $60. It's a complete game. It has everything on it, and then 2 years later, a DLC comes out, $40.
Shadow of the Earth Tree.
It's a whole fucking other game.
Mhm.
It's huge. It's like
And
a
now-
third of the size.
How
of
long ago did that come out? A year ago?
June.
Yeah, a year in June. They're releasing Night Rain this summer.
Yeah.
So another year
Which,
goes by.
That seems like it's kind of a mod of Elden Ring. Like the way... I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know about the whole Fortnite-y thing, but I'm like...
It's not Fortnite.
Well, I mean, it starts off, you get dropped in, and you have to
Oh,
level
yeah,
up,
yeah.
and then the map shrinks as you day by day. But you got a 3-day cycle.
Yep.
So I'm like, the whole rushed thing, I'm like, all right, well, I'll give it a shot. But yeah, so that drops, and then you get Helldivers, another one. The graphics are not great. at all. It's built on Unreal Engine 5. It's built on
And-
the same engine as Helldivers 1 was built on.
The story is as much made by the fans as it is the actual
Yeah,
developers.
the lore of it is fan-driven, a lot of it. And the thing is, the developers love the game so much and adore the fan base so much, a lot of it, they just incorporate it in. Not always direct. It's not in your face. Sometimes just little nods like, John Helldiver. You know, it's shit like that. And the fans love it, and people like that shit. But it's not this, like, look at the water in this game. You can't even fucking swim, so you don't want to look at the water.
Well, you can, but not for more than 3 seconds.
Yeah, but
I'm swimming.
You see water, and you're like, get the fuck away from that thing. But that, you know.
And you wonder why I don't drink the shit.
But yeah, but there's no great graphics there. Space Marine 2 is another one. It's just your average run-of-the-mill
I want to try that.
PS4 game, but it's fucking fun. And it's like over-the-top, like gore, blowing shit up. The content in it is fantastic. You don't need $120 games to be like, oh, look at how impressive the game is. Like, yeah, but it plays like shit.
Yeah.
It plays like shit. In the case of Grand Theft Auto,
5, we had fun doing online
we had a
glitches.
shit ton of fun. But once again, it got to the point where it was like, man, you realize this game's fucking, at the time, it was like, this game's fucking 9 years old or whatever it was, 10 years old. Like, I'm bored of this. And it's like,
Yeah,
listen, we have a new DLC. It's a car that looks kind of like these other 4 cars and a t-shirt. Cool, bro.
And you needed to complete this section of a heist if you want to do it, but get the DLC.
Yeah, $5. But that's what they would do. Black Myth Wukong, that's another one that came out. That's another one. It's not this huge fucking game. It's not graphically fantastic, but the visual art style that they have is fucking awesome. So they have all these games. You're like, what are you talking? It's like the quarter of the budget AAA games. All these were like, I think all of these combined were the quarter of the budget of a AAA game. Most revenue from everything is from battle passes, season passes, microtransactions, all this other bullshit. So no wonder why Grand Theft Auto made $9 billion or whatever the fuck it was.
8.5. Just over.
Yeah, no skins, no prepay anything. Helldivers built in blah, blah, blah. One Elden Modern Masterpiece. And none of that mattered because they were just all good games. So there was like, we're gonna have $100 games, and that's the reason why AAA fucking gaming companies are just suffering right now. What's Concord? That was one they spent a shit ton of money on, and a fucking tanked. Anthem. That's the other one. That's the one I was trying to think of. That's another one of the player base just went.
That was supposed to be like the Destiny rival.
Right. Destiny I never got into. But
Destiny I got heavily into.
I heard a lot of people is like, this is like rage just inducing. Like,
when you played PvP, yes, but when you did storyline and when they finally dropped PvE, it was perfect. I think the game was perfect.
it's like Helldivers.
You could get what you wanted out of the game. Like if you played PvP, you got exclusive gear or you got advanced gear, but you had to grind it. And it was very rage inducing. When they drop PvE, you can get the same quality stuff, but geared more like with a PvE theme, and then incorporate it into the actual story mode of the game, and have a good time.
Wow.
That's why I loved Destiny 1 and 2 so much until they killed my favorite character, and then the game literally became a fucking cash grab. Don't get me wrong, Bungie, you guys did fucking phenomenal, but you fucked up with Cade. I'm sorry. One of the most iconic voices, one of the most iconic characters, actually made the game fucking like he was like the Tony Stark of the Destiny world, and
So he had to die.
no, he didn't have to fucking die.
Well, then he's not Tony Stark.
He was like the Tony Stark, is what I said.
So he's a rich asshole?
No.
What was he like then?
Just awesome. Just awesome.
So he was. Oh, what you're telling me then? He was Ryan Reynolds
Yes.
before the rapey manipulative thing, whatever it is. No, he wasn't really rapey. That was just manipulative and
He wasn't.
man
His wife's co-star
allegedly
Allegedly.
claimed that everyone was.
which is now like there's all this proof. Yeah.
I haven't paid attention to anything since the last time we talked about it, so I have no idea what's going on. All I know is that
He went real quiet.
I'm sure he did.
Once some of the stuff started coming to light about.
All I know is that Candace Owens is all the fuck over this case, and she's studying this like she's what's a good analogy? She's studying this like Anthony Fauci studied COVID. There was definitely no gain of function research. It was just research that was functioning, gaining things.
It was functioning research that gained things.
Yes, gain of function.
But it was not gain of function research.
Gain and function research. It's
Girth and length.
completely different. Completely different. Whatever. Bye.